New Mexico RE Principles and Practice Final Exam. Question number 1. In environmental issues may impact all the following except A. Health and safety, B. Psychological issues, C. Property values, or D. Disclosure requirements. The answer is B. Psychological issues. Environmental issues impact property values, disclosure requirements, and health and safety. They are not considered to be psychological impacts, which would include items such as suicide or murder occurring on a property. Number 2. A seller is unsure whether she should renovate her kitchen before selling. What principle of value will help her determine whether the renovation is financially feasible? A. Cost, B. Consideration, C. Contribution, or D. Conformity. The answer is C. Contribution. The principle of contribution will determine if the renovation is financially feasible and if it will give the seller an increasing return upon completion. Number 3. A lender's interest in a mortgage loan is protected by obtaining additional security from A. Private mortgage insurance, B. Title insurance, C. Impound accounts, or D. The borrower's note. The answer is A. Private mortgage insurance. In a PMI program, the buyer purchases an insurance policy that provides the lender with funds in the event that the borrower defaults on the loan. Number 4. The lower the loan to value ratio, the higher the A. Owner's equity, B. Interest rate, C. Lender's risk, or D. Loan amount. The answer is A. Owner's equity. A lower loan to value ratio has a smaller loan and a higher down payment. The down payment represents the owner's equity. Number 5. The amount of a loan expressed as a percentage of value of the real estate offered as collateral is the A. Amortization ratio, B. Loan to value ratio, C. Capital use ratio, or D. Debt to equity ratio. The answer is B. Loan to value ratio. The loan to value ratio is the ratio of debt to the value of the property. Value being the sales price or appraisal value, whichever is less. Number 6. Homeowners may deduct all the following expenses when preparing their income tax return except A. Real estate taxes, B. Homeowners association dues, C. Some origination fees, or D. mortgage insurance or mortgage interest? The answer is B, homeowners association dues. Real estate taxes, mortgage interest, points for loans, and some origination fees can be deducted on income tax returns. Number 7, all of the following factors would be important when comparing properties under the sales comparison approach to value, except differences in A, dates of sale, B, original cost, C, appearance and condition, or D, financing terms. The answer is B, original cost. None of the approaches to appraisal considers the original historical cost of a property. Original cost is used in computations of book value depreciation. The other three factors would be relevant to the sales comparison approach, sometimes called the market data approach. Number 8, what principle of value does an appraiser use to determine how much value a new deck adds to a property? A, conformity, B, highest and best use, C, contribution, or D, supply and demand. The answer is C, contribution. The appraiser is determining how much the deck contributes to the value of the property. All of the following would be revealed by the title search except A, a mortgage, B, unpaid special assessments, C, an encroachment, or D, a recorded mechanics lien. The answer is C, an encroachment. A title search will find items recorded in the public record. A survey would reveal the encroachment that exists only on the property. Number 10. What law requires that a good faith estimate be given to a borrower for a federally related loan? A, Equal Credit Opportunity Act, B, Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act, C, Truth in Lending Act, or D, Fair Credit Reporting Act. The answer is B, Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act. RESPA applies to the process of obtaining a specific loan and requires a good faith estimate at the time of application and the HUD-1 Uniform Settlement Statement at closing. Number 11. Which of the following would be used to clear a defect from the title records? A, a writ of attachment, B, estoppel certificate, C, quiet title action, or D, lis pendens? The answer is C, quiet title action. If ownership cannot be traced through an unbroken chain, then a suit to quiet title may be necessary to establish ownership and clear the cloud on the title. Number 12. To find the value of a property using the income approach to value, when the net operating income and capitalization rate are known, the appraiser would A, multiply the net operating income by the capitalization rate, B, divide the capitalization rate by the net operating income, C, divide the net operating income by the capitalization rate, or D, multiply the effective gross income by the capitalization rate. The answer is C, divide the net operating income by the capitalization rate. With the appropriate capitalization rate and the projected annual net operating income, the appraiser can obtain an estimate of value. Net operating income slash capitalization rate equals value. Number 13. The difference between using a partially amortized loan or an interest-only loan is that the partially amortized loan would result in A, smaller payments and a smaller balloon payment, B, larger payments and a larger balloon payment, C, smaller payments and a larger balloon payment, or D, larger payments and a smaller balloon payment. The answer is D, larger payments and a smaller balloon payment. An amortized loan pays principal and interest, so the monthly payments are higher than an interest-only loan and the balloon payment is smaller. Number 14. A property that is being sold has a water bill of $150 that has been paid in advance at the beginning of the month. How will the water bill be handled at closing on June 20th? A, debit buyer $100 and credit seller $100. B, credit buyer $50 and debit seller $50. C, debit seller $100 and credit buyer $100. Or D, credit seller $50 and debit buyer $50. The answer is D, credit seller $50 and debit buyer $50. For a water bill paid in advance, the buyer will owe the seller $150 slash 30 multiply 10 days owed equals $50 debit buyer and credit seller. Number 15. A homeowner purchased her home using cash 30 years ago. Today, she receives monthly checks from a mortgage lender that supplement her retirement income. She most likely has obtained which of the following? A, shared appreciation mortgage. B, adjustable rate mortgage. C, reverse mortgage. Or D, overriding deed of trust. The answer is C, reverse mortgage. In a reverse mortgage, typically a senior citizen whose home is free and clear of mortgage debt will enter into a special, I don't know, something. Question 16. Oh wait, no, back. This is the rest of it. A senior citizen whose home is free and clear of mortgage debt will enter into a special mortgage arrangement under which the lender pays the borrower regular monthly payments as long as that person lives or until the property is sold, at which time the debt is paid off by the sale proceeds. Interest accrues and compounds through the term of this arrangement. These terms vary with the age of the borrower and value of the property. Number 16. The assumed loan sales price on a settlement sheet would be A, credit seller and broker, B, credit seller and debit buyer, C, credit buyer and debit seller, or D, debit buyer and broker. The answer is C, credit buyer and debit seller. Credit is good and debits are bad. The sales price is credit seller and debit buyer. An assumed loan sales price is the amount to be paid by the buyer, debit buyer, and is the amount payable to the seller, credit seller. Number 17. The landlord discovered that a potential tenant who applied for a unit has a history of alcoholism and violence. What should the landlord do? A. He must rent to the tenant because alcoholism is covered under disability. B. He must rent to the tenant but can charge an additional damage deposit. C. He can rent on a provisional basis as long as the tenant agrees to regular drug testing. Or D. He can refuse to rent to the tenant because of the history of violence. The answer is D. He can refuse to rent to the tenant because of the history of violence. Landlords do not have to rent to anyone who they believe might endanger them or the other tenants. Number 18. Appraisers are responsible for A. Estimating value, B. Computing value, C. Finding value, or D. Determining value. The answer is A. Estimating value. Appraisers do not make or determine value. After they complete their analysis and consider all the data, they provide an estimate of value. Number 19. What law requires disclosure of the annual percentage rate, APR, to borrowers? A. Fair Credit Reporting Act, B. Equal Credit Opportunity Act, C. Truth in Lending Act, or D. Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act. The answer is C. Truth in Lending Act. APR is the true cost of borrowing. It is required to be disclosed by the Federal Truth in Lending Act. Number 20. A homeowner has a current loan balance of $118,000 on a 30-year loan at 7% interest with a monthly payment of $831.63. For the principal and interest, how much of the net payment will apply to principal reduction? A, $143.30. B, $688.33. C, $831.63. Or D, $120.95. The answer is A, $143.30. Calculate the interest on $118,000 for 1 month at 7% per year. $118,000 multiply 0.07 equals $8,260 per year. To obtain 1 month's interest, 8,260 slash 12 equals $688.33, with the total payment of $831.63. Jim pays $688.33 interest, and the rest is principal. $831.63 minus $688.33 equals $143.30. Number 21. What is the difference between an FHA and VA loan programs? A. VA requires a certificate of equitable value. B. FHA is assumable and VA is not. C. FHA has a prepayment penalty. Or D. FHA insures and VA guarantees loans. The answer is D. FHA insures and VA guarantees loans. FHA actually sells an insurance policy and thus requires a premium payment in addition to the mortgage payment. The VA assures lenders that if the veteran is unable to pay in full, they won't lose money. There is only this guarantee by the VA. There is no insurance premium that the veteran pays. Number 22. A real estate broker wants to end racial segregation. As an office policy, the broker requires that licensees show prospective buyers from racial or ethnic minority groups only properties that are in certain areas of town where few members of their groups live. The broker has prepared a map illustrating the appropriate neighborhoods for each racial or ethnic group. Through this policy, the broker hopes to achieve racial balance in residential housing. Which statement is true regarding this broker's policy? A. The broker's policy clearly shows the intent to discriminate. B. While the broker's policy may appear to constitute blockbusting, application of the effects test proves its legality. C. Because the effect of the broker's policy is discriminatory, It constitutes illegal steering regardless of the broker's intentions. Or D, while the broker's policy may appear to constitute steering, application of the intent test proves its legality. The answer is C. Because the effect of the broker's policy is discriminatory, it contains illegal steering regardless of the broker's intentions. Steering is still steering regardless of the intentions of the broker. Number 23. A homeowner is borrowing $240,000 at 7% interest. What will be the interest payment for the first month? A, $1,400, B, $140, C, $1,680, or D, $16,800. The answer is A, $1,400. $240,000 multiplied by 7% / 12 equals $1,400 interest. Number 24. Under the Federal Fair Housing Act, it is illegal to discriminate because A, a person has a history of dangerous behavior. B, a person has been convicted of distributing a controlled substance. C, a person has AIDS. Or D, of a person's martial status. The answer is C. A person has AIDS. People with AIDS are protected under the disability provision of the Fair Housing Act. Number 25. What are the elements essential to determining value of real property? A, income, capitalization, cost, and market data. B, locational, physical, economic, and social. C, scarcity, utility, demand, and transferability. D, replacement, reproduction, locational, and depreciation. The answer is C, scarcity, utility, demand, and transferability. To have value in the real estate market, monetary worth based on desirability. A property must have demand, utility, scarcity, and transferability. Remember the acronym DUST. Number 26. It is necessary to calculate a dollar value for depreciation when using which of the following? A, cost approach to value. B, sales comparison approach to value. C, gross rent multipliers. Or D, income approach to value. The answer is A, cost approach to value. One of the components of the cost approach is the calculation of depreciation caused by wear and tear, functionality of items, or outside influences. What is the document? Number 27. What is the document that creates a lien and acts as security for the promissory note? A. Conveyance deed. B. General warranty deed. C. Quitclaim deed. Or D. Deed of trust. The answer is D. Deed of trust. Deeds of trust or mortgages create liens and security for deeds of trust. Conveyance or grant deeds, such as general warranty or quitclaim, transfer title to the property. Number 28. A broker associate is showing properties to an Asian couple. He selects properties exclusively in neighborhoods with Asian residents. This action would likely constitute A. Panic selling, B. Steering, C. Blockbusting, or D. Legal activity. The answer is B. Steering. Steering occurs when a broker selects property to show based on a protected class characteristic. Blockbusting and panic selling are also violations of fair housing laws but do not match the definition of steering. Number 29. A 5-bedroom home with 1 bath is an example of A. Functional obsolescence, B. Physical obsolescence, C. Environmental obsolescence, or D. Economic obsolescence. The answer is A. Functional obsolescence. Most families would not find 1 bathroom desirable, with enough bedrooms for multiple people but just 1 bathroom. The home is functionally obsolete. Number 30. A homeowner is frantic because he cannot find his deed and wants to sell his property. What can he do? A. He may need to sue for quiet title. B. He must buy title insurance. C. He does not need the original deed if it has been recorded. Or D. He should execute a replacement deed to himself. The answer is C. He does not need the original deed if it has been recorded. If the homeowner's deed was copied into the public record after he received it, that copy is all that is needed to start a title search. Number 31. Which characteristic of a fixed rate home loan that is amortized according to the original payment schedule is true? A. The loan cannot be sold in the secondary market. B. The monthly payment amount will fluctuate each month. C. The amount of interest to be paid is predetermined. Or D. The interest rate change may be based on an index. The answer is C. The amount of interest to be paid is predetermined. The monthly principal plus interest payment will remain constant throughout the term of the loan. The interest rate in a fixed rate loan does not vary. The loan will probably be sold on the secondary market. Number 32. What is the legal process used to clear a title? A. Action in personam. B. Action to quiet title. C. Writ of mandamus. Or D. Quitclaim deed. The answer is B. Action to quiet title. The legal process is a quiet title lawsuit. A quitclaim deed might be used to cure one problem in a title. Number 33. It is illegal for lending institution to refuse to make residential real estate loans in a particular area only because of the A. Crime rates in the neighborhood. B. Deteriorated condition of the premises. C. Physical location of the property. Or D. Questionable economic situation of the applicant. The answer is C. Physical location of the property. Redlining refers to literally drawing a line around particular areas and refusing to make loans in that area, rather than looking at the economic qualifications of the applicant. Number 34. A title search showed that the seller was the grantee in the last recorded deed and that no mortgage was on record against the property. The purchaser may assume which of the following? The seller has good title. A. B. All taxes are paid and no judgments are outstanding. C. No one else is occupying the property. Or D. The seller did not mortgage the property. The answer is D. The seller did not mortgage the property. The fact that no mortgage is on record against the property indicates with a reasonable degree of certainty that the seller did not mortgage the property. Number 35. After a foreclosure proceeding, if the mortgagor owes the mortgagee more than what was received through the foreclosure process, the mortgagee may file for A. Term lien, B. Deed in lieu of foreclosure, C. Deficiency judgment, or D. Default judgment. The answer is C. Deficiency judgment. If the borrower / mortgagee still owes the lender / mortgagee money after the foreclosure sale, the lender may file for a deficiency judgment. Number 36. A buyer wants the maximum assurance that there are no imperfections or clouds on title. How would a cloud on title most likely be discovered? A. By an appraiser. B. In a title insurance application. C. By a truth in housing inspection. Or D. In a title report. The answer is D. In a title report. A title report is created by searching public records and will find recorded encumbrances and clouds on title. Number 37. What does the lender charge to increase the yield on a loan? A. Origination fees. B. Discount points. C. Appraisal fees. Or D. RESPA points. The answer is B. Discount points. To make money on the loan transaction, the lender will add an additional cost called a point or discount fee to the loan. A point equals 1% of the loan amount. Number 38. When an individual under age 18 enters into a contract to purchase real estate, it is A. Voidable. B. Void. C. Illegal. Or D. A novation. The answer is A. Voidable. When only one party may enforce a contract against the other party, it is voidable. The minor may enforce against the seller, but the seller cannot enforce a contract with the minor. Number 39. Which of the following would a title search uncover? A. Encroachment. B. Deed restriction. C. Parties in possession. Or D. Zoning violation. The answer is B. Deed restriction. Deed restrictions must be recorded and would appear in a title search of the public records. Encroachments, zoning violations, and parties in possession are unrecorded and would be discovered through an inspection of the property or investigating other records such as the zoning laws. Number 40. Compared to a 30-year payment period, taking out a loan with a 20-year payment period would result in A. Slower equity buildup. B. Higher monthly payments. C. Greater impound requirements. Or D. Lower monthly payments. The answer is B. Higher monthly payments. Because the 20-year loan is being paid off faster and spread out over a shorter period of time, the payments would be higher than the 30-year loan. Number 41. Encapsulation is often a better solution than removal of what hazardous waste? A. Carbon monoxide. B. Radon. C. Asbestos. Or D. Lead-based paint. The answer is C. Asbestos. Proposed government projects need an environmental impact study. Number 42. An appraiser would need to determine accrued depreciation when using the A. Income approach, B. Gross rent multiplier method, C. Cost approach, or D. Sales comparison approach. The answer is C. Cost approach. One of the 5 steps of the cost approach is to estimate the amount of accrued depreciation, loss in value, resulting from the property's physical deterioration, external depreciation, and functional obsolescence. Number 43. A lender will take certain factors into consideration when deciding whether to grant a borrower a mortgage loan. However, which of the following would be a violation of the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, ECOA? A. Creditworthiness of the borrower. B. Ability of the borrower to make the payments. C. Amount of the borrower's income. Or D. Age of the borrower. The answer is D. Age of the borrower. ECOA prohibits lenders from discriminating against credit applicants on the basis of several factors, including age and marital status. Number 44. Who do the funds in a loan escrow reserve account for taxes and insurance belong to? A. Lender, B. Broker, C. Borrower, or D. Closing agent. The answer is C. Borrower. The lender is holding the money in reserve, but it's still the borrower's. Number 45. When are title insurance premiums paid? A. Semi-annually, B. Monthly with the mortgage payment, C. Once when the policy is issued, or D. Annually by December 31st. The answer is C. Once when the policy is issued. Title insurance insures against past events and is purchased at the time of closing with a single premium paid at closing. Number 46. What is damage caused to a property over and above ordinary wear and tear called? A. Statutory harm, B. Encroachment, C. Malicious injury, or D. Waste. The answer is D. Waste. Property waste is damage either caused by the mortgagor or allowed to happen through the mortgagor's negligence. Number 47. In which type of loan is the loan amount divided into 2 parts to be paid off separately by periodic interest payments, followed by a payment of the principal in full at the end of the term? A. Amortized, B. ARM, C. Straight, or D. Gem. The answer is C. Straight. In a straight loan, sometimes called a term loan, The borrower makes periodic payments of interest only. At the end of the loan term, the entire original principal debt must be paid. Number 48, the Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act, RESPA, states all of the following except: A. A HUD-1 form must be used at loan closing. B. Borrowers must receive information on settlement charges. C. The borrower may cancel the loan transaction 3 days after settlement. Or D. Lenders must provide borrowers with a good faith estimate of closing costs. The answer is C. The borrower may cancel the loan transaction 3 days after settlement. A borrower has no rights of rescission under RESPA. There are some rights of rescission afforded under Regulation Z. Number 49. When an appraiser uses more than one method to appraise a property, the final step is A. Adjusting the comparables. B. Doing a quantity survey. C. Adding the land. Or D. Reconciliation. The answer is D. Reconciliation. The appraiser must evaluate the values found by each method and describe how much credibility to give each. Reconciliation weighs the methods used to arrive at the most probable price. Number 50. What is market value defined as? A. Utility value of the property to the owner. B. Subjective value. C. Assessed value less depreciation. Or D. The probable price a willing buyer will pay. The answer is D. The probable price a willing buyer will pay. Market value is that would be paid in an arm's length transaction between knowledgeable parties. Number 51. On a seller's closing statement, the seller would be credited for A. New seller carry loan. B. Loan being assumed. C. Earnest money given to the broker. D. Sales price. The answer is D. Sales price. Credits are good for buyers and sellers. The sales price is a credit to the seller. Number 52. Which of the following is true about VA guaranteed mortgages? A. Discount points must be paid by the seller. B. The borrower must have prepayment penalty clause in the loan. C. Funding fee amounts are negotiable. Or D. The borrower must apply for the certificate of eligibility. The answer is D. The borrower must apply for the certificate of eligibility. A borrower must apply for a certificate of eligibility, which sets forth the maximum guarantee to which the veteran is entitled. Discount points can be paid by either the buyer or the seller. prepayment penalties are prohibited, and funding fees are determined by the VA. Number 53. In what way does a deed of trust differ from a mortgage? A. The obligation of the buyer to repay the funds. B. The redemption rights allowed after foreclosure. C. The number of parties involved in the loan. Or D. The time period permitted to cure a default. The answer is C. The number of parties involved in the loan. A deed of trust is a three-party instrument that conveys naked title to a third party. The trustee, who holds the title on behalf of the lender, also known as the beneficiary. The borrower is the trustor. A mortgage is a two-part instrument between the mortgagor and the mortgagee. Number 54. A $2,400 term loan has a 10% annual interest rate. What is the monthly interest? A. $20. B. $12. C. $24. Or D. $32. The answer is A. $20. The term loan is interest only. $2,400 times 10% equals $240 / 12 equals $20 per month. Number 55. The market value of a parcel of real estate is A. An estimate of the most probable price it should bring. B. An estimate of its future benefits. C. Its value without improvements. Or D. The amount of money paid for the property. The answer is A. An estimate of the most probable price it should bring. Market value is the value that would be paid in an arm's length transaction between knowledgeable parties. Number 56. In the cost approach to value, the appraiser makes use of the A. Assessed value of the building. B. Sales prices of similar buildings in the area. C. Estimated replacement cost of the building. Or D. Owner's original cost of the building. The answer is C. Estimated replacement cost of the building. The cost approach is used to estimate the replacement or reproduction cost of the building. Estimated replacement or reproduction cost less accrued depreciation plus estimated land value equals the estimated value of the cost approach. Number 57. When estimating the value of a property using the cost approach, all of the following are considered by an appraiser except A. Excessive amount of traffic noise outside the property. B, quality of materials and workmanship in the original structure. C, estimated loss attributed to an outdated heating system. Or D, loss of value due to uncollected delinquent rent. The answer is D, loss of value due to uncollected delinquent rent. Loss of value due to uncollected delinquent rent would be used in the income approach and not in the cost approach. Number 58. The Federal Equal Credit Opportunity Act allows lenders to discriminate against potential borrowers on the basis of A, age, B, dependence on public assistance, C, amount of income, or D, race. The answer is C, amount of income. Lenders may reject applicants who have insufficient income for the loans they are requesting, but it would be illegal for lenders to discriminate based on any of the other answer choices. Number 59. 3 years ago, a homeowner couple decided to travel and bought a mobile home to live in, but they did not sell the house they had owned for 20 years. They would now like to sell their house. How much of their capital gain on the house would be taxable? A, none, if it is less than $500,000. B, all, if it is over $500,000. C, 15%, depending on their tax bracket. D, 28%, depending on their tax bracket. The answer is A, none, if it is less than $500,000. The homeowners must have lived in the house 2 out of the last 5 years, which they have done. The maximum exception amount for a married couple is $500,000. What is the best description of reconciliation? A, analyzing the results obtained from the 3 approaches to value. B, selecting the highest value given by the 3 approaches to value. C, comparing comparable properties and identifying their amenities. Or D, determining the final value by selecting one value from those given. The answer is A, analyzing the results obtained from the 3 approaches to value. Reconciliation is analyzing the results obtained from the 3 approaches to value and deciding how much weight to give to each approach. A final value is estimated from the results of the analysis. The sales comparison approach to value would be most important when estimating the value of which type of property? A, apartment building. B, retail location. C, new residence. Or D, existing residence. The answer is D, existing residence. Both a new and existing residence require the sales comparison approach to be used when applying for mortgages. While both are correct, it is most important for the existing residents because the new residents can also use the cost approach for close support. The cost approach for an existing residence is not as reliable as it is for a new residence that doesn't have depreciation. Which of the following actions is legally permitted? A. Refusing to make a mortgage loan to a member of a minority group because of a poor credit history. B. Advertising property for sale only to a special group. C. Telling a family with 6 children that an apartment has been rented when in fact it has not. D. Altering the items of a loan for a member of a minority group. The answer is A. Refusing to make a mortgage loan to a member of a minority group because of poor credit history. Bad credit can cause anyone to be rejected, even those who are members of protected classes. What is the best way for homeowners to determine the market value of their home? A. Ask a lender how much they could borrow against the property. B. Get an appraisal. C. Have a broker prepare a CMA. Or D. Check the assessor's office. The answer is B. Get an appraisal. The key word here is best. The most accurate way to determine value is to have an appraisal. If that wasn't an option, then a CMA would be the most appropriate answer. Number 64. When appraisers use the expression most probable price, they are referring to A. Progression, B. Market price, C. Market value, or D. Supply and demand. The answer is C. Market value. Market value reflects what a buyer and seller feel is a fair approximate price. Number 65. The clause that appears in both the promissory note and mortgage and allows the lender to call the balance due on and payable in full upon default is known as the A. Alienation clause, B. Due on sale clause, C. Satisfaction clause, or D. Acceleration clause. The answer is D. Acceleration clause. An acceleration clause allows the lender to call the entire loan due for several clauses, including default. The due on sale or alienation clause is specific to the sale of the property. Number 66. Increased residential rental rates could result from A. Increased mortgage interest rates, B. An increased number of building permits issued for new apartment buildings, C. Increased monthly rental rates, or D. High vacancy rates in a rental market. The answer is A. Increased mortgage interest rates. If interest rates increase, fewer people can afford to purchase houses. These people then compete in the rental market and increase the demand for rental units, which will increase rental rates. Number 67. A property manager renting residential property may A. Designate adult and family sections in an apartment complex. B. Require a handicapped tenant who removes an interior door for accessibility to replace it at the end of the lease. C. Charge families higher security deposits than single renters. Or D. Refuse to rent to pregnant women. The answer is B. Require a handicapped tenant who removes an interior door for accessibility to replace it at the end of the lease. Property managers must allow handicapped tenants to make reservable changes. The other answer choices are all examples of illegal discrimination. Number 68. What is an instrument that creates a lien against multiple parcels of real property? A. Blanket mortgage. B. An all-inclusive deed of trust. C. Package mortgage. Or D. Budget mortgage. The answer is A. Blanket mortgage. The blanket loan covers multiple properties and often contains a partial release clause to release the lien on one parcel when a certain amount has been paid. Number 69. A broker representing a landlord may refuse to rent to a prospective tenant if the prospective tenant A. has a history of violence, B. has AIDS, C. is mentally handicapped, or D. is a recovering alcoholic. The answer is A. has a history of violence. Landlords are never forced to rent to anyone who is a potential danger. Number 70. What is the clause in a mortgage that calls for the borrower to pay off the mortgage when the borrower sells the property? A. Due on sale clause. B. Acceleration clause. C. Defeasance clause. Or D. Prepayment clause. The answer is A. Due on sale clause. The alienation clause is commonly referred to as the due on sale clause. Upon sale of the property, the clause spells out whether the lender demands all of the money back or if the lender would allow an assumption to a creditworthy party. Number 71. What does the term depreciation refer to? A. Costs incurred to renovate or modernize a building. B. Value of real estate after the expiration of its useful life. C. Loss of value in real estate from any clause. Or D. Capitalized value of lost rent income. The answer is C. Loss of value in real estate from any cause. The term depreciation refers to the loss of value in real estate from any cause on the property, off the property, or a combination of both. Number 72. If a house sold for $80,000 and the buyer obtained a loan for $72,000, how much money would the buyer pay if the lender charged 3 points? A. 2,160. B. 2,328. C, $240, or D, $2,400? The answer is A, $2,160. 72,000 is the loan amount multiplied by 3%, 0.03 for 3 discount points equals $2,160. Which of the following advertisements would be considered a trigger item under Regulation Z? A, FHA financing available. B, a steal at only $175,000. C, only $10,000 down. Or D, low monthly payments. The answer is C, only $10,000 down. Any specific down payment listed in an advertisement is a trigger item that requires additional information. Number 74. Charging more interest than is legally allowed is known as A, usury, B, deficiency, C, escheat, or D, estoppel. The answer is A, usury. Usury is charging interest in excess of the maximum rate allowed by law. Number 75. The higher the loan to value ratio, the lower the A, lender risk, B, interest rate, C, loan amount, or D, owner's equity. The answer is D, owner's equity. The share of the value owned by the owner is called equity, and the rest is debt. The more someone borrows, the less equity the person has in the home. Number 76. Which law requires all advertising that references mortgage financing terms to contain certain disclosures? A, Truth in Lending Act, Regulation Z. B, Fair Housing Act. C, Equal Credit Opportunity Act. Or D, Community Reinvestment Act. The answer is A, Truth in Lending Act, Regulation Z. Regulation Z of the Truth in Lending Act requires that trigger items about mortgage financing in any kind of advertising must include additional disclosures. Number 77. The mortgage ease policy usually shows on the closing statement as A, debit to the seller, B, credit to the seller, C, credit to the buyer, or D, debit to the buyer. The answer is D, debit to the buyer. The mortgage ease policy is required by the lender and usually is considered to be the responsibility of the buyer.